right? Because they want to like stop and have a conversation and they want producers running in, say this, say that. You know, they interrupt everything.
But this commercial was what the reason why we were there. So
Exactly.
if we don't get the commercial, then it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We have to get this done. And nobody is paying attention to that. They're all about the drama, the drama, the drama. And I'm like, stop.
And there's also so many factors. Like the kids can only be there a certain amount of hours. The union can only be there a certain amount of hours. The kids are only going to be in this makeup once. They're all getting into all these costumes. But
and they had 2 trios. You were doing 2 other trios that week that you had to teach them.
And the routine that they were competing with as the group that was also Wizard of Oz.
Which I threw on the back burner because I could have cared less about their other group number. Let's face it. I had to get the commercial done. We were going to use the choreo from the commercial, throw it into the group dance, add another minute on, and we're done. What's the big deal?
I guess that was intentional if we really think about it. They knew you had no time. They wanted it to be good. They wanted it to be good TV, right? I guess
and
that's what
being
it was.
under the gun and the time and the costumes and the makeup, it all lends to the drama because it's all real.
Yeah. And then we went out to the street and it took the drama up to another stratosphere.
Cranked it up.
One of the most iconic moments in television history, seeing Abby Lee Miller.
That was really one of the most iconic things that's ever happened.
But I feel like you joined me in the street, and we don't see that on the show.
I was down to join you in the street, but then I realized we were fully going rogue on television, and there was like 7 kids behind us, and I was like, okay.
All we needed was the heel back, leap, heel back. We just needed the off to see the wizard step down the middle of Santa Monica Boulevard.
Right, but it was like, were we willing to risk the life?
Yes. They all had insurance. Come on. Ridiculous. But I feel like you were out there and maybe 1 or 2 of the kids ran out with us right away.
Oh, they were down.
Then they ran back.
But I remember Jess being like, JoJo, no. JoJo, back on the curb.
I know.
And then the soundbite of her, Abby has absolutely lost her mind.
Yeah. And I didn't. I was just...
If anything,
Have you ever
made it work.
directed traffic before in your life?
No. But I could if I had to.
But directing the kids in the video probably feels like directing traffic.
Yes. Every day I was directing traffic. Yeah, it was trying to get the camera guys not to be in the way of the tricks.
But Abby, what do you say? You always want a guy that'll stop traffic.
That's my line when what do you see in a man? What do you look for in a man? I go, I want a guy that can stop traffic.
Mm-hmm. I almost was in the street and stopped traffic for you. Maybe
I know.
there's a missed opportunity.
I know. We did have a man in common too. Back in the day, but we're not going to talk about that.
We don't have to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that.
Ah! I'm screaming.
I always get emails and direct messages online from kids and parents asking if I can record a short video, wishing someone a happy birthday, a milestone congratulations on a special achievement, or even just my advice before performing at a competition. With Cameo, my followers, the ALDC elites, have the chance to connect with me directly. Looking to have Abby Lee's last word as you enter an exciting moment of your life? Maybe put you, your friend, or a special someone at the top of the pyramid? Or do you want them at the very bottom? Anything is possible on Cameo. Connect with me from anywhere on the globe at cameo.com/TheRealAbbyLee. That's cameo.com/TheRealAbbyLee. The sky's the limit on Cameo.
Before that, Todrick and Abby, you guys worked with Nia on some lyrics, which was nice. And Nia said that was the first time she ever sang in front of you, which was interesting. Did you even think that? I mean,
I think she was wrong.
I know. I mean, she
had to.
You have kids singing every audition you ever do.
Yes. So I don't know where she came up with that. Maybe since she was taking voice lessons. I don't know.
Yeah, she sounded great though.
Yes.
And then Todrick, you asked her if she was nervous, and then she said that she hadn't sang in front of Abby, and then you said you think she should because she sounded awesome, right?
Right.
Yeah, Nia had a great voice and great work ethic as well.
Yes, she did.
I was really happy that she was getting that moment. I was always like rooting for her as the one Black girl on the show to like get more opportunities, but I wanted her to have earned it like all the other kids did. And I think, when she got moments, they were moments that she earned,
Mm-hmm.
and I always felt like she deserved the moments that she got. So
My favorite number that she did was that, was it Murder, She Wrote?
How to Get Away with Murder.
How to Get Away with Murder. I love that number. I liked working with her on that. Yeah. Yeah. And I always enjoyed working with Nia. She was the little kid in class that was in the front, in the middle, like, watch me, watch me, watch me, and didn't know what foot she was on. But she was like all out. You know what I mean? Like loving every moment of being there.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I was on a cruise ship at the beginning of the year, and I texted Holly and said, I'm watching all the episodes.
Oh, God.
Holly was just, to me, like Michelle Obama reincarnated.
She
just
is.
felt
That's,
like
I mean, I think that's why she was cast.
she is just everything.
It took a lot for Nia to get her to come to even interview for the show. She wanted nothing to do with it. And Nia's grandfather, lovely man, used to bring her to class every day or whatever day she came, you know, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, whatever. He brought her and he would help her change her shoes and take her coat off and everything. And he was older then. And we didn't see Holly. She was no problem with money or anything like that. She would stop in some random day that Nia wasn't even in class and pay her bill. Like she was fine. We just did not see her because she worked in the city at a school, a private school. And by the time she would even get to the studio, it was 6 o'clock at night. So, and Nia was there at 4:15. So we just I didn't have a lot of interaction with her
Yeah.
prior to her coming on the show. And then, you know, that whole thing, we couldn't start till after school because none of the kids were homeschooled. It was just a nightmare.
But we did see Holly in the Freaks Like Me video.
Yes,
and
we
she
did.
was slaying.
She was slaying.
Holly is a queen to me.
She was slaying.
She's just everything.
She danced as a kid.
I didn't know that.
She
You know,
danced for Vicky
she-
Shear.
I have to just say this about Holly. She was just such a doll to me, and there has not been a Christmas or a birthday, I don't think, that has gone by since I was on your show that she hasn't sent me like sweet messages and love that is like specifically catered to me. It's not like a copy paste thing. She
Oh,
just
good.
sends me love a few times a year, every single year without fail. And I don't know, I just love how down to earth and how humble she's remained throughout this whole thing. I just love her, and I can't speak highly enough of what a great human being I think that she is.
Then we get actually to shooting the commercial. We talked a little bit about it, but let's talk about what each of the kids were. Nia was the lion. Jojo was the tin girl. Bryn was the scarecrow. Kalani was the good witch. Maddie was the wizard, but in the competition ended up being Dorothy because Todrick, you were Dorothy,
Yeah.
Yes.
obviously.
So
I
Maddie
get- I
was the
passed-
swing.
I passed on my ruby slippers to
Maddie
her.
was the understudy. It's funny.
And Kendall was the wicked witch. Kenzie was Toto. So that's when
She did that round off half twist tuck that was on the tumble track.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good. It was
That's
good.
cute.
I think you were playing in there on that tumble track too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
was.
fun. It was fun.
Abby, you decided to take over from there. Todrick, you probably had a whole vision. Did you expect Abby to be as involved that day? Or
No, but I do remember a time that I rented your studio space and we were in rehearsals and you came into the room and you're like, guys, I need you to come in here and move these mats. Come on, let's go. And my dancers were like, we're going. She's like, what are you waiting for? I need these mats moved. And like, so all my dancers, while we're renting the space, by the way, have to go move these mats. There was another time I was having a concert and I didn't even know that Abby was going to be available to come. I had invited you to my concert and
Mhm.
about 8 minutes to show, she said, I need 15 seats. You're going to have to hold curtains.
Abby's good at choreographing life,
That's what the text message said.
not just
So
dance
because
routines.
of those two experiences, I need 15 seats. You're going to have to hold curtain. I'm like, okay, I guess she's coming.
Did I
And we-
say that?
Absolutely. And we did.